If I could talk to my 20-year-old self for just 5 minutes, I would not waste a minute of it telling him to try to be happy. I would tell him the truth that I've learned hard over the last 10 years. I think the only way I learn anything is the hard way. Happiness is a trap. Self-respect is everything. And every mistake that you're probably going to make over the next decade is going to come from you forgetting who you are and trying to live a life in accordance with what you've been told, what you've been taught, and not searching in to figure out what you want. And this is the message I wish someone had given me. And it's going to be pretty raw and authentic, and it's my first video. So thank you to the 5 of you watching. I really hope you get something out of it. I know I would have 10 years ago. So no one will respect you and no one will love you more than you love yourself. And this is a weird concept because I think when we're a kid, we have to go along to get along, right? You have parents, you got family and friends, and maybe the first girls that you're trying to impress, right? You think you need to put on a posture. You need to be probably less of who you are. There is some truth to this. There's a good version of you. There's a bad version of you. We both know this. There's a part of you that wants to sit around and eat Doritos all day and play video games. And there's probably a part of you that's crushing it at the gym and has a goal and has a plan, right? So that is not untrue. The issue is, though, we've all been prescribed a future. Go to college, get a job, get married, have kids, right? These things may be great things. They may be in your path, but you never sit down for a minute with yourself in silence, because you probably can't bear it if you were like me to just sit alone with your thoughts. You're dopamine addicted. And so you're sitting here never asking, am I on the path? Is this where I want to be? You're not reassessing. You're not reevaluating. You're probably not improving because you'll get stuck in this rut of life. You'll be a wage slave. You'll be living someone else's dream for you. 5 years later, you'll wake up and realize how unhappy you are. And I think a lot of guys, we go through this, obviously, midlife crisis is a thing for a reason. It's because one day you woke up and you realize, wow, my time's almost up and I haven't done anything I wanted with my life and I don't like where I'm at or who I am. Okay. And the problem is if you're chasing validation from other people, primarily, not from yourself. Okay. This is where the happiness is a lie thing. And I'm going to delicately say that you should chase fulfillment, which is hard. Pride might be a better thing, okay? Because I think everyone understands it. There's a dark side to pride. But you should be proud of yourself. You should be trying to make God, the universe, whoever put breath in your lungs, okay, for you, proud. Your ancestors, I think Tate always likes to say, it's 1,000 years. They were dodging bullets and arrows and tigers on the savannah, depending on where you're from, to get you here. And you're doing nothing with your life. And you need to take a hard look in the mirror and realize that. And I was pretty ambitious in my 20s, but I wasn't authentic to myself. And there was times when I succeeded and the times when I failed, but I'm realizing that all the most valuable experiences and most impactful lessons came from me following a path that I made for myself. A lot of the time, against what family, friends, even my wife at the time wanted me to do. And the truth is, if you can't respect yourself, and you will never respect yourself if you cannot control your mind. And this is the hard part, gentlemen. We don't respect ourselves because when we say we're going to lose weight, we don't. When we say we're going to start the gym, or we're going to start a YouTube channel, or we're going to start that business, we don't do it. So respect is earned. And then the hardest person to earn it from is yourself. And if you can just do that one thing, you are going to live a much better life. If you can start on that path today, you will live a much better life. So be proud of yourself. That's your goal. Not to be happy. It's going to suck. Most of your days are going to suck. But being on the other side of this, guys, 10 years later of grinding in my 20s for a dream that wasn't really mine, that I never questioned, and having some success in that dream, someone else's dream, is miserable. And I didn't respect myself, and it caused a cascading series of problems in my life. Huge. So, pleasure over fulfillment is the trap in your 20s. It's an easy one to fall into. Chasing girls, maybe drinking, going out and partying, temporary, hedonistic crap will ruin you. But also working really hard on something that you never realized you didn't want will also ruin you. So don't do either. That's what I would tell my 20-year-old self. Sit down, quiet, in a room, get a journal, type it out, Writing's probably better. I can't read my own handwriting, so type if you need to. But really assess, and you got to reassess all the time. Does this align with who I want to be? The best version of myself. The life that I want to build. You create first in the mind. You have to see through time what you want and point your ship in that direction, not knowing how many push-ups it's going to take, how many times you're going to have to row the boat, and just continue on that path. And if you're just on the path every day, your self-respect will rise, your self-love will rise. You will notice that you stop putting up with so much crap in your life simply because you are living authentically through yourself, and you will attract people who are a million times higher quality than probably who you're hanging out with right now. And this brings me to my other point about authenticity. I had a friend die in high school. It was horrible. It was tragic. And everybody went to the funeral, small town. And, after the eulogy, which is the cleaned up, nice version of his life, everyone sat around sharing memories, right? And I noticed that it was only the wild, the crazy, the rough edges that anyone remembered about this kid, right? It was those things that just made him uniquely him, weird. And so I want to encourage you, and I would encourage my 20-year-old self, embrace the weird. The stuff that you usually try to hide, the stuff that you kind of veer away from, you might not tell people, you might not express, embrace it. That is what makes you you. That is what's going to attract the right people in your life. That is what's going to put you on your path. Your path is you. You are the only version of you that exists. That's what makes you valuable. So lean into it. And the more you embrace that, the more I've found, the more magnetic you become. You will find more fulfillment and more peace and better people, better relationships, and you will put up with less. Just accepting fully who you are. And again, guys, everyone thinks the game's out there. It's all in here. All my problems, everything that I regret, everything I regret doing, everything I regret not doing, I can trace back to that. Next thing I want to talk about, and this is a hard thing, because I think for intelligent people, myself included, I've thought about making videos for years. Thought about it. Had a plan, had a bunch of plans. Never did anything because I knew it wasn't going to be very good. This video is terrible. It's my first video. Thank you to the 5 of you that are watching. The only way to get good at something, the only way to learn something is through quantity. Quantity builds quality. And if you just accept, this is a test. Okay, this is a test run. I'm going to do 100 videos as a test. You're going to go to the gym 100 times as a test. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to show up. You're going to do something. Okay, you can do a little research. But I will tell you right now, you will learn what you don't know 100 times faster if you just get in the game. I waited so long to get in the game on so many levels. And the only times I really succeeded was when I had, honestly, accountability. I had people around me that kind of pushed me over that initial hurdle. If you can just get over that initial hurdle, the momentum, it is a powerful compounded interest on some discipline, on some repeated actions will pay dividends like nothing else in your life, okay? And that goes back to the rule is keeping promises to yourself. It's easy to keep promises to other people. That's what we normally do, right? There's a place for that. Try to get some people around you that are going to help. But at the end of the day, start small. Just get up at 5. Just get to the gym. Start with some micro repeated actions. Stop looking at the goal and start thinking about how you're going to play. Each play creates the score. And you're not running any plays right now. So none of it matters. You have no money, you're broke, you don't know where to start. Great, run. Great, do something, okay? Start something. It's that easy. And you will pivot and you might adjust. But who you become is what matters. And I know this is cliche. It's all over the place. But you have to be the person before you can do the thing to have what you want. Be, do, have is the recipe. Focus on becoming the person who does the thing. It is actually the easiest recipe I found because a lot of times the doing is hard. You don't know the first step or the 10th step. You don't know what you don't know. So if you can just focus on being more like, thinking more like, acting more like the person that you want to be. And you can find the person you want to be, or you can at least find someone's in shape. You can observe them. We got plenty of data online, right? We got YouTube. We got all these resources. We got more information than we've ever had. Find one, not 10, find one, and focus on being a little more like him in that area that you want to improve. What would he do? What would she do in this instance? Small steps. And just start doing it. And as your identity shifts, you will do the actions almost effortlessly. It's a little bit of momentum. Momentum is a huge barrier, but also just knowing if someone else did it, you can too. And knowing how they think and what they're doing is actually not that hard. It is a lot easier than creating some elaborate business plan with 27 steps. Be, do, and you will have. I'm going to tell you this too, for men particularly. I think it's important for women, but for men, fitness is actually a spiritual act. Okay, I know this sounds a little crazy. I'm going to talk a lot about the spiritual in mind at some point, but it is free. It's available right now, and it will change your self-love, your self-respect, the way you show up, the way other people view you. Every millionaire and every poor person has to do virtually the same things to look good with a shirt off. It is a currency all its own. And the weird thing about it, I've found, is that you think you're going to the gym to build some muscle. But what you get along the way, okay, you get mental fortitude, self-respect. You get the ability to power through obstacles. You understand fundamentally, subconsciously, that most of the good stuff's on the other side of a pain wall. And me going to the gym, when I was going to the gym and when I wasn't going to the gym, you can literally see an insane difference in my life. Looking back now, I realize I've been addicted to nicotine. It's been my vice. Never had a problem drinking. Most vices I'm pretty good with. For some reason, nicotine's always been kind of my drug of choice, right? Nicotine is just like the gym on the inverse for me, right? People talk about all the negative health benefits, and I'm like, well, we're just doing Zyn, or we're just doing vape or whatever. It's not that bad. But it's not about the thing. It is terrible, but it's not about the thing. It's about the fact that you are constantly giving yourself temporary pleasure over a long-term result, and that momentum takes you away. And so the gym can be a counterforce in your life, an insane counterforce that will change you mentally almost more than it will physically. So that's the first thing, obviously. And I think everyone says this, but do it. Get out there, start getting in shape, baby steps, walk a mile. I don't care what you have to do to start. Don't make excuses. Don't do more research. Just do something that you know you can do every day, because consistency is the only thing. Remember that. Quality comes from quantity. Start with quantity. All right. And that kind of comes to the next point, that I would like to tell my 20-year-old self. Progress over perfection, man. Perfection's a trap. You're going to fall off. You're going to relapse. You're going to skip days. This is the part that I don't think anyone touches on online. Even these great disciplined guys, maybe not, maybe there's a few that are inoculated. But for the normal person, you're going to have bad days, man. And failure's not possible unless you quit. You use that negative momentum to justify bad behavior continuing. So the superpower that you can develop, and it's quite easy once you start getting in the practice, when you fall off, you don't beat yourself up. You don't wallow in guilt and shame. You just jump back on the horse and you get after it again. Instead of trying to have a perfect streak, just try to have a little longer streak than you had last time. You ran for 7 days in a row? Okay, well, let's see if we can make it 14. And if you can do that, you're going to go places. Accountability. I'm going to talk about this. I think I started my first business. I started 3 businesses when I was in my 20s. Really proud of that. None of them were, I'm not a multimillionaire, obviously. I still have a day job. But all of them were actually somewhat successful. 2 were pretty profitable. All of those really were unlocked because I had the small daily practices. I had a plan, but I was executing on the person more than the action, right? But I also had some good people in my corner that were pushing me along. And so when they talk about, you're the circle of your 5 closest friends, it's hard, guys. Hard nowadays to find people who are genuinely invested in some form or factor. I've only found them by being more of the person that I want to be and kind of pulling those people into my life. It'll happen somewhat organically. So you might be in a lonely phase. Just make some friends online, the people that you follow. Spend a lot of time, right? When I changed my life, it was podcasts and it was YouTube videos and stuff in the background. Stay on the game. Don't absorb too much information, but you can kind of absorb a little bit of their energy, a little bit of their mindset. So I think that's good. It's easy to overdo it. I've overdone it, but it's a powerful thing. And try to level up the people. Every time I made a bad decision, every time I got off my game or went out drinking, I was with the wrong people. Every time I did something good or accomplished something, typically somebody was either working on the project with me or somebody was kind of checking in. And really my plan is, hopefully for a lot of you guys long term, that's what I want to do for people. I want to just help them make a plan, figure out what they're supposed to do with their life, figure out step one, get them on a purpose, and start building momentum and keep them accountable. And the next thing is, there is no mountaintop. You will never arrive. So life is a climb, right? And you can rest along the way. You don't have to always be grinding. You should live. Living is a goal in and of itself. Happiness, maybe not. Happiness, if you think about what you're going to get out of happiness, it's usually going to be temporary because that's just the way our brains are wired. You don't have a choice. You're going to want the junk food. You're going to want the quick dopamine. You're going to want to scroll. So you're going to have to accept that you want to feel proud and tired and fulfilled at the end of the day over all of those things. And you won't be able to do it overnight. You can't just flip a switch. I mean, some people can. I never was able to. Just find a couple areas or one in your life and start building some momentum, and it will have cascading effects. And so with that, I just want to say your mind is your greatest asset. It's so overlooked. We're all out there chasing productivity. We're out there chasing things, material, relationships. But at the end of the day, spend some time alone. Don't be afraid of figuring out who you are. Ask yourself questions. Journal, if you can. It's changed my life. I know it's cliche. Writing stuff down, getting the thoughts to paper. You're bringing something from your mind into reality. It can be a very powerful practice, and it will help you organize the monkey brain, as Tim Ferriss likes to call it. But if you don't control your mind, you will be a leaf in the wind. You will go wherever life takes you. Whoever's calling the shots, it's not going to be you. You will be a slave. And you will never find fulfillment. And every time in my life where I stopped taking the reins, I regretted it. So hopefully you got something out of this. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to try. Guys, accountability here to the, again, 4 or 5 of you. I'm going to try to upload one of these a day for a while. 100 days at least. So stick around. Relationships is my next section. Probably be a video up here. Go watch it. It's heavy. God bless.